So good afternoon, students. Today we are going to analyze lesson 4.4, that is the height of the ridiculous by Oliver Wendell Holmes. Before we actually analyze this particular poem, we will go through the activity, that is the warming up part of our chapter. What you all need to do, you all need to complete the sentence. Today I am happy because. Write down the reason. Okay. Sanskriti said we are going to learn new poem. Okay. Yashaswini, I'm going outside after a long time. Okay. Brunel says I got full marks in algebra. Congratulations, Brunel. Hiral says I am safe at home. Angela says my family is happy. Arya says I make a cake. I made a cake. Ria says enjoying the nature. Cool. Even I want to accompany you, Ria. Neha says my friends are coming for a holiday. Wow, Neha, that's cool. Bhumi says our class is going to be learning a funny poem. Ah, nice. Ria says, okay, yeah. Aditya says, today I'm happy. There is my mom's birthday. Many, many happy returns of the day to you. I wish your mom, Aditya, from my side. Okay. And party. Nikita says, because I had a blast birthday with my loving friends and sister. Wow. Angela said, I got the news today that our school might be reopened on 21st. Oh, okay. So you're happy that because of that. Good. Chalo. Okay, Mronal. Good. Nice. Mronal says she's happy because she scored full marks in algebra. Each and every child participate. We have total 65 of us. I want each and every child to participate in this. Okay. Second, today after the class, I wish. What is your wish after your class? Okay, Sanskriti replied, I'll complete my whole pending work. Good. Bhumi says, my teacher gives us something interesting to do. Okay. Hiral says, lockdown opens and we go to the school. Acha. I wish to go to my native place. After the lecture, Brunel, is it possible? Nikita says to spend time with friends. Okay. Tejal says, I will complete my homework. Good. Diksha says, I wish you were here. Ha, even I wish so, Diksha. Okay. Arya says to complete the science diagram. Okay. Homework has been science lecture. That means. Ria says to eat chocolate. Okay. Ria, good. Sahil says I wish to go to the school. Okay. To fulfill my duties, Angela says. Okay. So good. Whatever your duties are there, responsibilities are there. 1 hour we are having our lecture, and then the Siddesh, you can eat your ice cream as well. Good. Nice. Tomorrow I feel that. What do you feel about tomorrow? That Sanskriti, okay. Neha says to make a delicious cake. Okay, tomorrow you are going to make a delicious cake. Good. Sanskriti says, I should spend time with my friends. Says, Acha. Everyone are eagerly waiting to meet, I guess. Hiral says it will be a pleasant day. Nol says, I feel that I should complete my work. Okay. Why not today then? Rachel says tomorrow I feel that there will be the blast day because sister's birthday. Okay. Um, Prior only I'm wishing your sister happy birthday. Angela says there might be awesome weather and it will bring happiness in everyone's life. True, waiting for this hope and positivity, Angela. Aditya says I should wake up early. Okay, Aditya, you have to because you are having your lecture early in the morning. Okay. Siddesh says I will watch a movie. Nice. Watch some informative movie. And just the corona cases count might get less. Yeah, tomorrow every day we feel the same. Good. Ria says a new beginning for schedule my new things. Wow. What are the new things, Ria? Kushi says to be patient and keep loving nature and be ready for every tomorrow since no one knows what's tomorrow. Yeah. Arya says to get holiday. Arya, please don't hope this. I'll complete the surprise for my sister's birthday. Okay, good, Nikita. Angel says to get up, ready, really, teacher, hear new things. Yeah, okay. So, tomorrow we don't know what is there, but yeah, definitely based on your reply, I have to know that my students are pre-planned for tomorrow and they are actually the leading future of our generation. Okay. So, next sentence, I want to laugh because why you all feel like to laugh? Okay. Diksha says, okay. Sanskriti says to relieve my. Bhumi says laughter refreshes the mind and relieves stress. Yeah. Diksha says because she looks very. Who looks silly? Huh, Diksha? Okay. Hiral says when I laugh, I forget all the tension. Okay. Siddesh says he laughs when he's very happy. Okay. Nikita says Sahil is not putting any initiative. He's just sending this emojis of smiley. Okay, good. Neha says I have a funny friend like Mronal. Okay. Neeraj says we are going to learn a humorous poem. Oh wow, what a good guess. That is why you're laughing from now itself. What, Neeraj? Okay, Kanchan says because there is no reason to not laugh. Okay. Twisty. Riya says to be happy and spread happiness because laughter is the best medicine to any tension. Sahil says laughter is a medicine for mental stress. Okay. So everyone good. So keep laughing as after this lesson, particular lesson, we are going to definitely laugh at least. Okay, and have a few, and we'll get relief from whatever tension we are having or stress we are into. Last sentence. Today, all the class seems to be cheerful about. What you all are excited about? You all are excited for what? For the poem, okay. For the lesson, Sahil says. Nothing else. Give me some innovative ideas. No, something different. Okay. School. The humorous poem. School reopens soon. Okay. We are learning a new poem to come across the new concept of poem. Yes, Angela. So today we are going to analyze the poem "The Height of Ridiculous." Okay, and this activity I have taken now because this same activity this same no somewhat like this activity you will be getting in your homework part, so you all need to write whatever comes into your mind. Okay, and frame a good poem or something nice literary device. Okay, next part, give the words related to humorous. Now word related to in grammar part, you will be having 2 marks question on it. What you need to write, the words related to humorous, 8 words related to humorous you need to write. Okay, you all are already replying, good. Neha replies funny. Okay, funny, laughter, funny, hilarious. Don't write funny now, don't write hilarious, droll. Okay, done. Many more words. There are n number of words if you hear the word humorous. Now, what is humorous? First, I will tell you. Humorous means something that makes us laugh. Yes, Neeraj. Comical. Okay. And hilarious done. Humor done. Just. Okay. Good Sanskriti. Funniest square. Okay. Antique, comic, amusing, giggle, merry, witty, joke. A good sense that brings joy on everyone's face. Okay. Chuckle, hilarious, joyous. Okay, so what are this? These are the words related to humorous. So basically, in this poem, we are going to get across through few kind of words that are humorous, that will make us laugh, that will make us question to the poet that yes, is it so? Does it happen? Oh wow, if it is happening, that's great. Such kind of reactions we will be having when we are going through the poem. And whenever after each and I want you all to put emojis in the chat box. What expressions you all will get after understanding that particular stanza. Okay. So the height of ridiculous. What is the pattern I am going to follow? I am going to first give you all the introduction of the poet, then poem. Afterwards, recitation of the poem, poetic device, stanza-wise explanation, figure of speech explanation, meaning, yes, Neha, and conclusion that you all are going to give me. Okay, so let's continue. The Height of Ridiculous by Oliver Wendell Holmes. This poet is from the 19th century. He's a well known poet. He was born on 29th of August 1809 at Cambridge in US, and he passed away on 7th October 1894, Cambridge Place. He was a great American physician, poet, and he was known for his work. He was known for his writing of poem, as he used to write poem in a very, very, very humorous manner. And even he was being known for his medical research and teaching. One of the famous thing, or one of the notable thing that he has written, that he was the author of Breakfast Table, that is the series of essay. Okay, this in your textbook they have not given you all about the poet. I myself have, so you all can note it down. Second, this is a humorous poem written for enjoyment with plenty of funny expressions. The main purpose of the poet is to simply entertain his audience. Now, after in this particular poem, we are having total eight stanzas. We are having total eight stanza. Each stanza is of four. Each stanza is of four lines. Okay. So eight stanza, four lines means what? Eight reactions I want from you all. And each and every stanza, when we are going through this poem, no, we will feel like this poet is narrating to us. Poet is telling us something, that when he was writing something, that time what all things he had noticed. Because of that thing, he decided that he is not going to write such kind of funny poems thereafter. Okay, so let's have a paragraph wise analyze. Okay, the height of ridiculous. Just listen, just listen. I wrote some lines once on a time in a various merry mood, and thought, as usual men would say, they were exceeding good. They were so queer, so very queer. I laughed as I could die, albeit in the general way a sober man am I. I called my servant, and he came. How kind it was of him to mind a slender man like me. He of the might limp. This to the printer I exclaimed, and in my humorous way I added, as a trifling jest, "There will be the devil to pay." He took the paper, and I watched and saw him peep within. At the first line he read, his face was all upon the green. He read the next, the green grew broad, and shot from year to year. He read the third, a chuckling noise I now began to hear. The fourth he broke into a roar. The fifth his split. The sixth he burst five buttons and tumbled in a fit. 10 days and night, with sleepless eye, I watched that wretched man, and since I never dare to write as funny as I can. By Oliver Wendell Holmes. Okay, you can see this particular picture. If you Google it, you will get two different people. So this person is having Holmes SR. Okay. Now paragraph wise explanation. I wrote some lines once on a time in a wondrous merry mood, and thought, as usual, men would say, they were exceeding good. This few lines tells us that how did this poem begin. I over here is the poet Oliver. The poet is telling over here that someday in the past, once on time means what? Sometime in the past, poet Oliver had written some line some time in the past. And when he was writing this line, he was in a very, very wondrous, merry mood. The word wondrous means delightful, happy, wonderful, and merry means cheerful. Both means same. Okay, so when poet was writing these lines, he was in a very, very, very happy, cheerful and live mood. Okay, and that time he thought, while he was writing this poem, after completion of the poem, he thought that people would praise him after reading the poem that he has written. What he thought, what did the poet thought? Poet, that yes, I have written this poem, and I know, as I have written many other poem, people appreciated that poem. This poem also will be appreciated by many of the people, and after reading the poem, they will say it is a excitingly good poem. Excitingly very, very, very good poem. Okay, so this is the first meaning. In the first stanza, we got to know that poet was writing a poem, and when he was writing the poem, he was in a very, very wondrous mood, happy mood, and then he thought that whoever will read my poem, they will appreciate me by saying excitingly good. The first figure of speech in this particular poem is I wrote some lines once on a time. This is an inversion because over here the sentence has been changed for the poetic order. Okay, what will be the correct sentence? Can anyone guess and tell me in the chat box? The order of the words in the line has been rearranged for poetic effect. Yes, Sanskriti, correct. The correct sentence will be on a time I wrote some lines. Once on a time I wrote some lines. Yes, Hiral, good. Second one is alliteration. It is alliteration because the sound of letter M has been repeated for poetic effect. Okay, and as well as it is tautology. Why it is tautology? You all will tell me. Why it is tautology? Tautology means words having similar meaning. Why it is tautology? In a wondrous merry mood, what two words are having same meaning? Yes, very good, Angela. Wondrous and merry are similar in meaning. Yes, good, Sanskriti, Diksha Chauhan, Bhumi, Runal, Ria, Drishti, Anjali, Neha. Yes, good. So this is alliteration as well as tautology. Tautology means words having similar meaning. Over here, wondrous and merry both are having similar meaning. The third one is and thought, as usual men would say. It is an alliteration. Why it is an alliteration? Is good, Sanskriti. It is an alliteration because letter A has been repeated to maintain the musical tone of the poem. The last one is, yes, good, Bhumi. The last one is they were excitingly good. Now, what is hyperbole? Hyperbole means whenever we over exaggerate the sentence. Can you all think whatever people are writing, can that be that much good? No, we can't measure, we can't define it. As it has been defined, it has been over exaggerated sentence. Yes, good. Yes, kindly elaborated. Yes, it is a hyperbole because it is over exaggerated. Okay, excitingly good. Can we move towards next stanza? Exceedingly means very, 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 very good. Okay, clear, Hiral? Okay, moving ahead now. The next stanza. No, okay, sorry. One more thing. I wanted to ask you, what is the rhyming scheme? The first word is what you will write over here. Which a letter you will write? A, B, C, D. Yes. A. Good. Next. No, Hiral. Line wise we will go. Mood. Front of mood we will write what? Yes. B, because it is not rhyming with time. And say is having any rhyming word? Say is no. Yes, Sanskriti, good. It is C. And good is having rhyming with mood. So it is again B. Understood no Hiral now? Why did I say stop? Yeah. So the rhyming scheme is A, B, C, and B. Okay. Moving ahead now. They were so queer, so very queer. I laughed as I would die, albeit in the general way. A sober man am I. Over here, this particular line tells us that when first line told us that poem had written and he thought that everyone would praise him. Second stanza tells us that whatever he had written, he started reading it. And when he was reading it, that time he noticed that whatever things he had written, it is very queer. The word queer means strange, odd, or very unusual. It is very unusual. Yes, Diksha Chauhan, correct. They are very unusual. So when the poet started reading this stanza, reading his own poem, that time he got to know that whatever he has written were very strange, were very odd, and he started laughing. I laughed as I would die. Now, what poet is telling over here? Again, he has exaggerated the sentence, and he is telling that I was laughing so hard, so hard, so hard that I felt that I will die. Is it possible? Can anyone die laughing due to laughter? No. So again, it is an exaggerated sentence. He is telling us that he had written such a odd thing, such a strange thing that he himself started laughing and he felt that he would die. Now next line. Now this word is pronounced as albeit. It means that he is a very serious person. Okay, albeit in the general way, in a very, although you can say, or in a very usual sense, in a very day-to-day life, he was a very general person. He used to not laugh very easily. Sober man over here means serious man. So over here poet tells us that he is a very serious man. In day to day life he doesn't laugh in a very in a common way. He doesn't laugh, but when he read this line he started laughing and thought that he would die. So again it is a, now let's move towards the figure of speech. New words were queer. It means, yeah, Bhumi. The first word is repetition. So queer, so repeated for the poetic effect. The second one, the word so and queer have been repeated twice to indicate how funny the poem was. I laughed, I would die. It is a hyperbole. Why it is a hyperbole? Can anyone tell me? Hyperbole, repetition I got to know, Bhumi. Hyperbole, yeah, the sentence is over exaggerated. The laughter of the poet on reading the poem he had composed is exaggerated to denote how funny the poem was. Okay, and it is a repetition because I is repeated for the poetic effect. The next one, albeit in the general way, a sober man am I. Again this is a hyperbole because because the word I has been used twice to indicate the effect. Okay, inversion, it is an inversion. It is inversion because, yes, the sentence has been changed for the poetic. Correct sentence is I am a sober man. Good, Neha, Bhumi. Good answers you all are giving. Let me check one stat. Impossible someone can die without laughter. Yeah. B. Now next, I called my servant and he came. How kind it was of him to mind a slender man like me. He of the mighty limb in this particular stanza, we can see that poet is telling that he had called his servant. What did poet do? I over here is the poet. Poet had called his servant, and after calling the servant came front of him and he stand. By the nature, the servant was very kind. Poet says him as a kind because this servant was listening to whatever the poet wanted to say. Okay, and to mind a slender like man like me. Oh, to mind means what over here? To take care or to listen to the instructions, whatever the man is telling. Slender over here means slim. The word slender means slim. Poet was very slim. So what poet is telling over here? When I called my servant, he came and he is very kind because he is listening to whatever I am saying. Now is it clear? Okay. And a man like me, he is he of the mighty limb. Now he of a mighty limb means what over here? Poet over here is telling to us that the servant was very muscular. He was having strength, strong built muscular he was having. Okay, so these two were opposite personality. Poet was slender and the servant was mighty limb. He was completely opposite of the poet. He was strength, he was muscular, yes. So poet is thinking, I called him, he came and even listened to my instructions. How kind that man is. Okay, so now let's move towards the figure of speech. The first figure of speech, I called my servants and he came. It is an alliteration. It is alliteration by yes. Good Sanskriti because see, call, came is repeated for the poetic effect. Okay. Now the second one. How kind it was of him to mind a slender man like me. Now to mind a slender man like me till he of the mighty name is an antithesis. Antithesis it is why it is antithesis. Yes, good Sanskriti because slender man and mighty limb is opposite. So contrary ideas of being slender and mighty are being placed beside each other in a single line indicate the humorous nature of the situation. Two opposite words they have used in the same sentence, that is the slender and the mighty limb. And last but not the least, even over here it is a synodo. Okay, the last line I'm talking about. It is why because the whole the part is described for the whole. Here limb means not only his muscular his arms, his body. It means the whole part of his body. Okay, yes, can we move ahead now? Okay. Yes, Om, it is simile as well. It is directly compared. Now, next stanza. Over here, it was the rhyming scheme in each and every stanza is A, B, C, B. Next stanza. This to the printer, the poet exclaimed and gave the paper, handed over the paper. Okay, Abid. The poet handed over the paper to the servant and he exclaimed this to the printer and in a humorous way, in a very joyful manner, in a very jokey manner, the poet added something. I added as a trifling jest. Trifling jest means what over here? It means a small simple joke which is not that important to say. So there will be the devil to pay. This is a phrase. This means that if at all you don't follow my instructions, then you will be in trouble, a lot of trouble it means. So this stanza, this to the print exclaimed, and in my humorous way I added, as a trifling jest, they will be the devil to pay. Over here, poet is handing over the paper or the material to the servant. Okay, and when he is handing over this paper to the servant, the poet added a jokey thing, and he said, they will be devil to pay. He said this because it was just a casual, it was a very unusual thing. Okay. And he said that if you don't listen to my instructions, then you will be in lot of trouble. Okay. Moving ahead, what is the figure of speech I added as a trifling jest is an alliteration. It is an alliteration. Can anyone tell me the reason why it is an alliteration? Yes, because the letter A is repeated for the poetic effect. They will be the devil to pay. Again, it is an alliteration. It is an alliteration. Why? Because, yes, because the sound of the syllable th, that is th, has been repeated for the poetic effect. Yes, and the last one is also a metaphor. It is also a metaphor because indirect comparison is being made. The poet uses this line to humorously indicate the servant that he better follow his master order, or else he will himself get into a big trouble. Is it possible, if at all you don't follow your master, will you all get into trouble? No, definitely no. No, yeah, no one is going to do any. Yeah, in the same way. So next stanza. He took the paper. Okay. He took the paper and I watched and saw him peep within. At the first line he read, his face was all upon green. So when the servant took the paper from the poet, that time he watched. He quietly saw and he peeped within. Peep within means to see. Okay, he peeped within the paper. And when he read the first line, his face began to smile all upon the green. Green means over here what? Smile. Smile broadly. Okay, so this line means that when the servant took the paper from the poet, he was peeping or he was looking into the paper. Then he started reading the line. When he had read the first line, his face was all upon green. He started smiling. Okay, yes. So the over here one figure of speech we have, that is tautology. Why it is tautology? The second, yes, and saw him pip within is tautology because over here saw and pip having the same meaning, has the same meaning. Yes, and even we have alliteration at the first line. He read his face. This is an alliteration. Over here, which word is repeated? At the first line, he read his face. Yes, letter H. The sound of letter H has been repeated for the poetic effect. Okay? And the rhyming scheme of it is A, B, C, and B. Okay? Yes, good. Moving ahead now. Next stanza tells us, he read the next line. Once again, I'll give you short summary till where we have reached. First, we got to know that poet was writing some lines in a very happy mood. When he wrote those lines, he started reading the lines. When he started reading, he thought that people will start appreciating him for the thing he had written. When he himself started reading the line, he got to know that those lines were very unusual and very strange, and he himself started laughing. In a actual life, he is a very serious person. He don't usually start laughing. Afterwards, he called his servant. His servant came and later on, two opposite ideas of their, they have told over here that the poet is a slender person, okay, and the servant is a mighty limb. Next, when he called the servant, he handed over the paper to the servant and asked him to take this paper to the printer. And in a very funny way, he told that if he do not follow the instructions, then he will face a lot of trouble. Then we got to know that the servant took the paper from the poet, and then he started reading the first line. When he read the first line, he started smiling. The word green they have used over here. Okay. He read the next. That means now moving ahead. He read the next. The green grew broad and shot from year to year. He read the third. A chuckling noise I now began to hear. Now, what over here the poet is telling over here to us, that he was noticing the servant. The servant, when he read the second line, his grin grew broad and he started smiling more broadly. And when he started smiling broadly, his smile, his cheeks, we have the end of our lips. You know, that thing was touching ear to ear. Is it possible? Is it possible? No, it is not possible. Okay, so it is again a over exaggerated statement. Then afterwards, when the servant started reading the third line, the servant made the chuckling noise. The word chuckling over here means giggling. Silently he was laughing in a very low voice. He was laughing, and his noise came out, and this was been heard by the poet. I now began to hear. I now began to hear means what? The poet now heard the chuckling noise of the servant. He had noticed. Okay. Figure of speech. The first line he read the next. Yes, chuckling means giggling. Chuckling means giggling, laughing quietly. You do not he in that way. Okay. So yes, and the poet was able to hear the sound, and he got to know that the servant is laughing now. Yeah, exactly, Sahil. Only Sahil is sending me different emojis, huh? Yeah, yes, Samruddhi. Samruddhi is quite hurry. Year to year is repetition. The first one, he read the next. The green grew broad. It is an alliteration because over here, letter syllable GR, the sound of the syllable GR has been repeated for the poetic effect. Good, Bhumi. Now we are on figure of speech. The word second line and short from year to year. The word year has been used twice to indicate the funny grin of the servant from one end of his face to other. Okay, so year is repeated for the poetic effect. It is an hyperbole because we actually can't do it. It is an over exaggerated statement to show that how brightly or how deeply the servant was smiling. The next one is onomatopoeia, because over here, yes, chuckling is a sound. The sound of laughter, that is chuckling, made by the servant on reading the poem is depicted in the line. Good students, you all are replying me exactly correct. Yes, thank you, Neha, for your emoji. I now begin to hear. It is an inversion sentence. Yes, good, Samruddhi, Sanskriti, Neha. Now I begin to hear is the correct sentence. Good, Diksha. Very good. So, and the rhyming scheme? What is the rhyming scheme? A, B, C, B. Very good. Now the next. This is the second last stanza. That is the seventh stanza. Oh, Khushi has given me oh, nice emoji you have used, Khushi. Good. So the next second last stanza is the fourth. When the fourth he broke into a roar. The fifth his waistband split. The sixth his burst five button off and tumbled in a fit. So over here, what poet tells us that when servant was reading the fourth line, he broke into a roar. Roar means in laughing sound. Okay, roar means the laughing sound. Ha ha ha. We say no. Yeah, exactly. Correct emojis you all are giving me. Yes. When yes, sound like okay, sound like lion. Yes, Ria. When we actually laugh very, very, very loudly. Broke into means suddenly. The word broke into means suddenly. Suddenly, the after reading the fourth line, the servant started laughing loudly. The fifth line, his waistband split. What is a waistband over here? Waistband, you all tell me. Waistband means what? In simple term, it is a very good Sanskriti. It is a belt that which we wear on a waist. Yes, Riya, correct, Bhumi. The belt split means what? It broke into two parts. As when the servant read the fifth line, yes, Diksha, correct. Fifth line, the person started laughing so hard that the waistband broke into two parts. Is it possible? Is it possible? No. So again, it is a which type of figure of speech it is? Which type of figure of speech it is? Hyperbole. Yes, correct. And the sixth, this when the servant started reading the sixth line, his burst five buttons off. The shirt's five buttons were burst out. Is it possible to open up so easily? No. Again, it is a which kind? Yes, Hiral. Which kind of sentence it is? It is a hyperbole, over exaggerated. And tumbled in a fit. Tumbled means what? The word tumbled means fall down. Okay? While you all are laughing, I have seen Sanskriti doing this. Okay? Here is a picture. And other students also, to whom we were together, I guess, due to some reason. Yes, Sanskriti? Yes or no? Ha. Yes, Diksha. Laughing, and then we are holding our tummy, and then we are on the ground. This is called as tumble. We are not able to balance our body, and then we are straight away on the flow. Okay, the last stanza is the eighth stanza. 10 days and night with sleepless eye. Now what the poet is telling? 10 days and night with sleepless eye, I was the wretched man, and since I never dare to write as funny as I can. So, yeah, Arya. So, over here, poet says that he was not able to sleep for 10 days and night. And he was looking at the servant. Wretched man over here means a helpless condition. He was looking at the helpless condition of the servant. And then the poet decided that after that particular time he is not going to take initiative to write the poem as funny as he can. So can we move towards the figure of speech? Yes. First one is hyperbole, because we actually can't have a sleepless night. The sentence has been over exaggerated for the poetic effect. It is an antithesis. What two opposite idea they have used in the poem? Yes, Mrunal, correct. Sanskriti, day and night. Next one is I was that wretched man. It is an alliteration. Why it is an alliteration? Yes, it is an alliteration. Good, because the letter W is repeated for the poetic effect. Turn now next one. As as funny as I can. What it is? It is a simile. It is simile because the word, yes, directly comparison they have made, has been used twice to indicate that whatever he has written in the past, he is comparing with what? I can. That means in the future. Okay. And even any doubt now you all are having? Enjoyed? Okay, we'll have a quick recap session now.